I'm fascinated with God. God and I, we just have been arguing my whole life. And mostly she just kind of leaves me to my own devices and I just leave her to her own devices. And yes, God is a woman, clearly. Right? Oh no, God's neither male nor female. Well, good, then stop referring to God as a he, right? If that's what you think. Just spend a week referring to God as a she and see what happens. But God created, God gave birth to the world, women give birth, so God must be a female. So, okay, so anyway, she and I have this long-standing argument that we have. But nonetheless, and let me just tell you my story. So I wanted to meet Sufis because Sufism is this really, really cool, mystical component of Islam. And, oh, dudes, don't forget to turn your phone off. And so just like in Christianity, where Jesus said, follow me to get to God. Basically what he was saying, his whole teachings are about reducing the ego and eliminating the ego. And just be with other people. Don't build yourself up. Build yourself down. Feed the poor and be with the poor and don't seek power and do this and be nice and be kind and all of these things, which is like reduce the ego, eliminate it, shrink it. So you just be one. You follow the steps of Christ and then you be like Christ and you be godlike. And it's an amazing path when you do that. I mean, holy smokes. Don't seek power and fame and all that kind of stuff. Like Jesus would not be digging on the Kardashian route. You know what I mean? So in any case, in Islam, in Sufism, it's the same thing. The goal of Sufism is to shrink the ego so that you become one with God. And so they do this thing called whirling. And whirling is like meditating. So if you meditate, those of you who have practiced kind of meditation or Buddhist, or those of you who have had some mystical experience, you can go to this really amazing place. But they whirl. And they have this, and I'm not going to go into the names of everything, but there are two things. The one hand goes up to the heavens because you're connected to God. And the other hand goes down to the earth because you're grounded with humanity. The hat what's the cap that they wear looks like a tombstone because that represents their own tombstone, which is the death of their ego. And then they whirl, and they whirl really fast. And they have these outfits that are like these like it would be like dresses, men and women, and they whirl really fast, and you get into like a trance state. All the while, your energy is going up to heaven and down to the earth. So you're grounding yourself to God. You're focusing on becoming one with yourself by becoming one with your consciousness, which kills your ego, and then you become one with God. It's like, oh my God, right? Is that not awesome? Is that not awesome? And then you walk through the world. So I met this guy, and I wanted to find a Sufi, because I was in Turkey, and I'm like, I got to find. So I met this old guy on the street, and he said, I'll take you to the Sufi. Meet me right back here at 5 o'clock. And so at 5 o'clock, taxi pulls up, and this old dude rolls the window down. He's like, hop in. And I hopped in, and he takes me around through the streets of Istanbul, if you've ever been in Istanbul, And then we stop in front of this house, and we go up these winding stairs, and we open the door. And there's this guy sitting in his little prayer room, just like this. Just waiting for me. He didn't even know I was coming, and the dude's waiting for me, right? He had no idea I was coming, and he's waiting for me, right? And right ahead of him is a little window, and the minaret of the mosque, one of the central mosques in Istanbul, is right outside his window, and there's a crescent moon, and oh my God. And I sit down in front of this guy. I don't speak Turkish or Arabic. He speaks both. We just start looking. I sit in front of him, and we look at each other, and we just start giggling and laughing. And our eyes connected, and we were like that for about 2 hours, man. I'm telling you, I just was transported into another place. And then he says, repeat after me. And I had no idea he was saying this, but this is what he said, and I knew he was saying it, so I just repeated after him. And when we got done, he says, okay, you're a Muslim. And he's speaking in Turkish. And I'm like, and I didn't know that's what he said, but I knew what he said. In the end, the old guy who spoke broken English, he said, yeah, you're Muslim now. So he named me Suleiman and invited me back the next day for one of his rituals. And I came back, and I'm like, okay, I'm Muslim. But then he said something. This is how it fits to this class. He said, well, you can't believe in evolution. And the guy was able to translate that. And I said, okay, ain't gonna happen. So, yeah, he still thinks I'm a Muslim. Well, maybe I am. I guess I am. I don't know. But I don't believe in evolution, so I'm also a Christian. I don't know what I am. Anyway, I'm a little bit of everything. You know, we have people here from all over the world, you know, different places in the world, and we all think differently about mental health. Different cultures, we contextualize it in different ways, and then many of us struggle, whether we say it or not, whether we acknowledge it or not, whether we talk about it with other people or just keep it to ourselves. The point is, many of us struggle. We have these bodies, and our spirits are born into them. And then, you know, we're left here, as my wife says, without a roadmap. I mean, there's no operating instruction. You know, if you're thinking and you're alive, then you have a lot of questions. And the questions gives rise to more questions. And so our mental health is just as important as our physical health. And so when you think about all the physical ailments that we have, right, all of us, whether we have a sore knee or we get a sore back or we have this or we have that, we have just as many mental ailments or psychological ailments. And so that's what we're going to talk about today a little bit. Okay, y'all?
Hello, my name is Gun Hyung. I'm from South Korea.
My name's Tim. Well, that's my white name, but my real name is Ting Wei. Oh, right, China, my bad.
Ting Wei.
Yeah.
From China.
My name's Brooke. I'm from a really small town, but it's close to Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Sai, and I'm from India.
My name is Mohammed. I'm from Saudi Arabia.
My name is Angel, and I'm from France.
And you're the lone American, and you've never been in therapy? Like, I'm not even going to ask. See, I wouldn't even ask these other folks because I know the answer is no. You've never been in therapy. I've been in therapy, by the way. I spent I spent 3 years in therapy, really trying to understand the operating instructions, really. I mean, I wouldn't be here. I couldn't be here. I couldn't do what I do. And I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't spend all that time in therapy or in counseling, really talking with another person who was asking me good questions, right? Questions that I really couldn't ask myself, because you can't ask yourself questions. I mean, that's kind of crazy. You need someone else to do that, right? In your culture, in talking about mental health, how open are people in talking about it? And I don't mean like the media, I mean people.
I would say very inclusive on the topic of, having a mental health or mental illness. That's why, as you know, like, we don't really kind of share like, oh, I'm going to the mental health therapy and things like that. So I feel like people are still very kind of shy to talk and share about those type of topics.
Mm-hmm. So when you say people, so you're talking about Koreans, right? Koreans are shy.
Yeah.
Do you have a sense of what makes them shy? Like, what is it that leads them to be reluctant?
I want to say it's there's a atmosphere of kind of people looking at you like those eyes when, let's say, someone is having a mental therapy, and they will kind of look at you as if there's something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess our culture is still in the stage of considering mental therapy as a problem, not like, just a regular thing that anyone can have.
And whose problem is it?
The person who's going to the therapy, like, oh, so you're well, I'm not going to therapy and you are, so I guess you have something wrong with you in your mental.
So do you think Koreans would think it's strange, or how strange would Koreans think it is that I'm standing in front of all these people, right? And on YouTube saying, like, yeah, I was in therapy for 3 years, right?
I'll say like more than half will be surprised by your kind of pride or like your
My openness.
yeah, your openness.
Yeah, here it's almost like a badge of, like you go to, in some communities in the U.S., right? Like it's a badge of honor, like, to be in therapy. Ting Wei, how about you? How about in China?
Well, I was in therapy like a few months ago, but in China, people don't really talk about it. Like if I talk to my mom about it, my mom just go, it's not a real thing. Just go to sleep. You'll be fine in the morning.
Wait, so you were in therapy and counseling here at Penn State or in State College, yeah? Okay, and you told your mom.
Yeah.
And your mom said,
it's just go to sleep. It's not a real thing.
You don't need that.
You wake up and you feel all normal again. I'm like, yeah, that's how I feel.
Do you have to drink ginseng tea first or something, or green tea, or to feel normal again? Like, what do you mean? Like,
know.
what's she mean?
Yeah, that's why I asked her. I'm like, it feels weird. You have no energy. You just don't want to do anything.
And were you really reluctant? How reluctant were you to tell your mom? Like,
I mean, to my mom, I will tell her anything. So not that reluctant. But to other people, I wouldn't say anything, probably.
Except
Yeah.
to the camera.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, but you wouldn't, if like with your friends and stuff.
Yeah. But my friends know.
Okay, but are just people who you like met at a gathering or a party, and you wouldn't say something because,
Wait.
like
What?
hang on, your friends know that you were in.
My only friend, no.
Yeah, you have one friend. This
Yeah.
guy's your only friend?
Yeah, that's my bestie right there.
Dude, he needs another friend, man. Cause look at this guy. Like, he really needs another friend. Somebody help him out. All right. Wait, he knows. Do other friends know? Do your coaches know, by the way?
My coach, they know after I've been in therapy for like 2
Got it.
months.
Okay. I
Yeah.
got it. All right. That's cool. Hey, let me ask you a quick question. What'd you learn about yourself?
Absolutely nothing.
Seriously?
It's quite like the whole session is quite useless, honestly.
Oh, my God. Sai, you're going to respond to that.
No, because I just stopped going.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just stopped going.
Maybe that's why it was useless, bro.
Look, it didn't make me feel any different. Every time, like, she is like, okay, it's time. Like, when do you want to come? When do you want to come next week? I'm like,
All right, hang on, man. Hang on. Sai has something to say to you about that. Hey, Brooke. No, hang on. No, go ahead. Actually, Sai.
The thing with therapy is if you're not gonna go for it more than therapy is like a gradual process. You can just go twice and then be like, oh, it's not working. When I went for therapy, I'm a psychology major and I'm like a big mental health, I believe in mental health and everything. And I went for the first 2 sessions and I was like, this is not doing anything. But if you don't go for your 3rd, 4th, and 5th, it's not gonna do anything. And it's the process. It's like trust in the process kind of thing. And there are a lot of therapists because it actually works. It works.
So let me ask you this. What have you learned about yourself?
For me, I think it helped me focus more in achieving my goals because I tend to criticize myself a lot, and because I'm an international student, it's really hard to cope with academics and everything. So I think therapy really helped in achieving my goals. And another thing is that it's like a third eye. You get to see things about yourself that you actually can't see. It's like someone else is sitting on the other side trying to tell you, okay, this is what's wrong with you and this is what you're supposed to do, which you wouldn't go look at yourself and be like, oh yeah, I suck at this. I need someone else to tell me that I actually suck at this so that I can work on it.
Something that you go. Yeah, okay, so listen, man. In an ideal world, FYI, a therapist isn't really telling you suck at something or here's really what's wrong with you. Like, you got to decide for you they help you see it yourself, like what you're working on, what you got to work on. Okay. But how do you have a response to that, bro?
Yeah, I have definitely have because I've been there for two months. Like every week I'll go like 2 times. And I don't think it because I'm still tired. Every day I'm still like, well, this is bullshit. Like I don't want to do anything. And
well, hang on.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe there are things, different ways to approach different things we struggle with, right?
Yeah. The thing that helped me was a 3-day party. It was a Friday night party, and there's a Saturday night party, and there's a Sunday night party. After that,
And that's it?
I'm good to go.
Dude, is that true, bro? Dude, what happened at the party, man? Dude, I'm not, hang on. I retract that question I just asked you. What happened at the party? Don't tell us, all right? We don't want to know.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Just
That's
friends.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Sai, let's stay with you for a second. In India, how do people talk about mental health?
So
I mean, India's over 1.4 billion people. Like, scum of that.
So in mental health exists, it doesn't explain the other so because it's a thing like Google mental health. People don't know it. I don't know when a lot of people like hot when like skinny or logical person on like talks not a sad like get out of your way. It's
Yeah.
I way like educated and it's nothing, just keep going. But mostly from India, it's religion. People it's very funny, but like in like the village areas and like people are really religious. Mental health. So if I have like depression or if I have something, and I'm like from a village or like from like the poor areas, it means like there's a ghost inside me or like there's like a bad spirit inside you.
Yeah,
that's what they believe.
No. So a lot of folks will go down that route of spirits. Yeah, for sure. That's not in the U.S., by the way. We don't do that. How about you, man? How do people around you talk about mental health? And
I'd say it's something like in the United States that's people are getting a lot more comfortable talking about, but still at the same time, like it's not something that people are just like open about like to everyone. I think it's like something you have to be really comfortable with someone, like extremely comfortable to talk about. And I mean, as you're telling them like, oh, I'm going to therapy, they'll probably say like, that's really good for you. Like, I'm happy for you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something that everyone necessarily just like shares about themselves. Like,
but
I think people want to be like perfect. But
yeah. Okay, but if you talk to your American friends, right, and said like, hey, I think I'm going to start therapy up here, at Penn State, whatever.
they probably would be like, that's probably a good idea. Like, good for you. Like, I don't know. They wouldn't think of it as like a bad thing. They definitely say like it would be like a good thing if I'm struggling to do for myself.
And if you weren't struggling, you just wanted to go to just better understand yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not always something like people necessarily, I don't know how to word it. I'm not sure that anyone would really just say like, here, like, they would just necessarily, even like at a college age, like just sign themselves up if they weren't struggling. I think it takes like a lot of people to have someone to tell them like, maybe you should do this sometimes, for people to go get therapy for themselves. But I think it's something people are becoming a lot more comfortable with, especially because a lot of like older people in the country, like they would say like, oh, it's nothing. You know what I mean? Like kind of that old school value, but like.
How about you, man? How is this talked about in your, let me just go with your family. How's mental health talked about in your family?
It's low-key a joke. Like, I think my sister brought it up to my mom once, and she like laughed it off and said like, you're too young to be thinking about what's going on in your mind, or like you don't really know what's going on in your mind. And then like
Wait, how old was your sister at that point? Maybe about?
14-ish.
Uh-huh.
Ish, you know. And then like I think one time I said a friend at school is dealing with it, and she said like, oh, she's not in tune with, you know, God. You know, it just went back to religion. I never really bring that up around my mom or my dad really. And like anytime I do, it's kind of like a joke. Oh, you know, it's the American way. American kids are doing this, this, and that. So just like stay away from them.
So they would chalk it up to be, like you're here in the U.S., and so they chalk it up to the idea that you're being Americanized.
Yeah,
And
and I'm following, you know, the American way. You know, if you have a problem, you chalk it up to a mental illness, and like that's the way you can get out of doing something else. So they're trying to, like anytime I say it, they're like, oh, you're just trying to get out of doing this, that, or this. So.
Huh. Have you ever thought about counseling, therapy?
When I came here, and I think like the weather had like gotten really chilly, and I was staying inside a lot. And I was talking to like my academic advisor, and he was like, "Oh, you think you're going through like seasonal depression or something?" And like I thought about it once, and I was like, "Nah, you know, I just want to be inside." But like he was really pushing the idea, because I told him I like was unmotivated to like go outside, but like I was just saying I'm cold, and he was saying there's something wrong. So that's like the only time I really thought about it.
So you came here from France
Yeah.
to go to school?
Yeah.
From a Nigerian family in France, you came here to go to school. And like somehow how old were you, 18?
Right now?
No, when you came here.
Oh, no. I was about, 13-ish?
Okay, all right, I
Yeah.
got you. But somehow you're expected to just be okay, like normal okay. Like, I got this.
I mean, yeah, because, like, my parents like to say there's nothing, like, that I don't have that, like, I can't get, you know? Or, like, people back home don't have, but I have it, so I should be fine.
So that's your therapy, right? Your therapy is to like think about people back home.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, I'm better off than there, so therefore I'm good,
Yeah.
right? Maybe that's what happened in that 3-day party binge that you were on, man. Just, yeah, okay. So the idea, so you're going to go back to so God thing is another big part of, which is a big part of Nigerian culture, man.
Yeah. A lot of the times, it's just like if you're dealing with something, you need to go speak to God about it, you know, pray about it, and like, God will help you out.
Mohamed, how about you, man? So you're born in Saudi.
Yep.
Dude, Saudi, you guys are all in therapy, aren't you, man?
All of us, yeah.
Yeah, the
Every
whole
single one
country.
of us are getting better.
Yeah, that's how you're. Tell me about it, man. How is it in the Arab world?
So like I guess mental health in like the Western world was slow to like become a mainstream topic, and nowadays people like tweet about their therapy sessions, right? But think about how long it took Saudi Arabia to legalize women driving, right? And then apply that to mental health. See y'all in 500 years.
So a lot of people don't know. So women started driving in Saudi Arabia 3 years ago, right?
2016, 2018, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was 2018. So about maybe 5 years ago. Okay. Time
Movie
flies.
theaters
When you get
too.
to my age, bro, time flies real fast. Okay, so go ahead. Yeah.
So yeah, if I were to like look up therapy over there in Saudi Arabia, I don't think I'd find many options. I think if I talked to some random person on the street over there, he'd tell me to go find God, like Angel brought up. And, a lot of people over there, they find solace in faith and all that. But not everyone, I guess, I don't know.
But, okay, so let me ask a question to you all, right, for a second. So, there are mental health issues in which just chemically and biologically, we are society, right? Chemically and biologically, we experience some kind of imbalance, as many of you do, right? Some of you are struggling with a lot of depression. Some of you struggle with a lot of anxiety. Some of you are diagnosed as bipolar or any number of issues, right? So a lot of people, right? That this is like a biochemical reaction to life. The body is a really complex thing. And so like you can't just assume it's going to operate very evenly and smoothly and so on, right? So I got to think that just about the same number of people in every culture are going to have bodies that are off. So the same amount of bipolar disorder. I mean, we could, here in the U.S., we might diagnose more people with it, but I got to assume that regardless, if I think about all of you, right, regardless of your culture, we have the same number of people who are going to experience these kinds of, our bodies just being off. So that makes me wonder, what happens to all those people? Like, where are they? Where are they in Saudi Arabia, man? Who takes care of them?
I actually disagree with what you just said. I think might be a disproportionate amount of people in different cultures who suffer from mental illnesses.
No, hang on. I'm not talking about mental illnesses, right? Okay. I'm not talking about like depression. Like I'm talking about a mental, like a level of illness that's really emerges out of an imbalance of the body, mind, spirit. You know what I mean? So there are a lot of people in this room who are thinking they might be depressed. It's some level, right? Like Ting Wei. Like you're saying like, yeah, I'm really tired and I can't get out of bed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what you were really struggling with. But like, okay, but what is that, right? What is that? I'm talking about like really more serious imbalances. So I think there clearly are some subtle differences in cultures, but I don't think that the bodies, your body and Angel's body and Sai's body and Brooke's body and so on we're essentially the same human beings. We just have different cultures. What happens to people who are suffering really serious psychological debilitations? What happens to them in Saudi Arabia? Who takes care of them?
They kind of get thrown out on the street, I'm not going to lie.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You have homelessness in Saudi Arabia?
Sure, yeah, whatever you want to call it. But like, people don't want to deal with. I don't know what to tell you, but like, I guess I have some family members who are on that like deep end of, chemical body imbalance or whatever, and just no one in my family wants to take care of them, that's the burden on that thing,
But
so,
but like in Saudi, in the Arab world, families are everything.
Yeah, but I don't know what to tell you. It's not beneficial for the family themselves.
When they go up, right, I got that. What happens in Korea to people who really who need to be taken care of and aren't taken care of?
I think like their families, most of the time their families take care of them. Mm-hmm. And when I walk in the street, I don't see a lot of like people with mental illness or like unstable mental health.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that the family will take care of them. Mm-hmm. And I mean, those people are definitely there, but the families are trying their best to not like put themselves out there in society.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like trying to kind of hide themselves.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sai, do you have any? In India, there's so many people on the streets, right?
Yeah.
And so, it's hard for me as an outsider. I mean, I've been to India, I don't know, like 4 times, right? Spent a fair amount of time there, but it's hard for me to assess what's actually going on.
I would probably say some of it is just because of poverty, like the people are homeless. But India is like for the ones that ill, but it also but won't have a lot of the like be like screen or sort of. But that also help.
Yeah.
There's a lot of help in India right now, but yeah, I would say like it's like half. Like some of it's because of actual poverty, and some of it's like. I feel like it's because of poverty they have mental illness because they don't have help. They don't have money to access help. And when you have a physical illness, you get sometimes you end up with a mental illness as well. So I think it's all just interconnected.
Huh. Who do you talk to? Who's like the first person you talk to?
Like my friends, probably.
Uh-huh.
I think like for some people, it would be their family. I think I just like relate more to my friends and they understand me better at this point, like at college and stuff. So I would say the first people I go to would be like my closest friends.
So when you're like dealing with some emotional issue that it really is like you're wrestling with it, you go to them. Yeah. And how do you know whether to trust them?
I guess it's just kind of like a mutual like friendship sort of deal. Like sometimes when you just feel like maybe like you've been friends with them for a really long time and they've had your back before. Like you kind of can know you can talk to them or they've talked to you about issues, like that mutual like respect sort of deal.
So, Mohana, who do people turn to in your world, in what do you see? Who do they turn to?
I gotta say that like I didn't grow up being taught that if I'm in distress, I should turn to someone. So it's just a lot of internalizing and just stuffing it deep down. Because when you notice interactions, I guess when I was young and I noticed interactions, people didn't talk about the bad stuff. They talked about the good stuff kind of thing. And if there is something going bad in your life, deal with it.
Just, what's deal with it mean? Can you what's that mean to you? Like what, if someone said that to you, like if angels said that to you, dude, deal with it, man. What would that mean?
Shit happens, like you're not special. Get through it, God didn't choose you or whatever. Or I don't want to get religious or anything, but
yeah, well, because I got you, man. Yeah, so just deal with it. What's deal with it mean to the Chinese?
Wait. Deal with it, like.
Yeah, because that's what they'd say in China too, right? Deal. Would they even say that? Do you guys even if you're struggling with something, do you even tell other people in your culture, or do you just completely keep it inside?
Back in China, you don't tell anyone.
You don't tell anyone.
You don't tell
anything?
anyone. You just been people notice you've been acting weird and stuff. Like you've been moving a lot and you've been like acting kind of weird, and people just see you like as a weirdo, and they just don't really look at you, I guess. My mom would be like, "Oh, that kid's weird. Don't play with him," and that's it. And you just kind of neglect everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, same in Korea. You're like,
Yeah. Like, I don't know about like all the other families, but at least for mine, I was taught to like just, be strong, suck it up.